Hello, coders. Welcome to week 9 of our ICD-10 CM coding class. I hope you're all doing well and ready to learn more about coding. This week, we've got an exciting 2 chapters to look at. We're going to be looking at chapters 22A and 22B that cover coding injuries and coding poisoning and adverse effects. These are very important chapters. When ICD-10 first came into being, they were chapters that had codes for all different types of things that people made internet memes about. Coding being injured by a lawman and car wash, all these other different types of crazy things. Some of them were exaggerated. Some of them, there really are codes for it. So in chapter 22A, our focus is going to be identifying the correct 7th character. That's the key here for certain injury codes. And when you apply all these injury codes, and what you do when it's an initial, subsequent, or sequela encounter. And there are some important guidelines here, so I'd strongly suggest paying attention to these guidelines that are in the beginning of the chapter on injuries and the beginning of your textbook as well. In 22B, we're going to talk about the table of drugs and chemicals. It's always been there, but this is one of the first times we're going to be looking at it. And in this chapter, we're going to talk about poisoning, adverse effects, underdosing, and overdosing. For seasoned ICD-9 coders, this was a totally new topic and was extremely confusing. But if you stick to the guidelines, if you read the text and follow through closely, it does make a lot of sense. So we'll code poisoning, underdosing, overdosing, and some of these other things that are very important, especially if you want to get started in your career in coding, as many times entry-level coders are coding emergency room cases where these things are extremely common. So let's tackle these chapters together. And if you have any questions or concerns, you're welcome to email me or stop by office hours. That's all I have for you. We'll see you online. Bye now.